Hey guys, so just carrying out a service on this Vokera boiler. When we opened it up, had a look, it turned out to be that the auto air vent was badly leaking on it, and it was corroded, so this needed changing as well. Sometimes you can just change the actual auto air vent inside, but there was a tiny crack on the bottom body as well, and it was actually leaking from there also. So we decided to change the whole lot. So it's got the auto air vent and the body, the housing underneath it as well. That's changed now, so that's fully working, not leaking anymore. And the next part is service. I haven't serviced this boiler before. I think it's 4 to 5 years old now, and as per the customer, nobody's carried out a strip down service on it before. So I decided to open up, have a look to make sure everything's okay. So that's the burner. That's what the burner looks like when you open it up. I'm sure to those who carry out service on these on regular basis, they're fully familiar with it, but that's what the burner looks like. So a quick inspection on that, just making sure the electrodes are in good condition, and the flame rectification device is also in good condition. Clean it out, inspect the burner to make sure it's not damaged. From the top again, that's where the air and gas mixtures goes in, that's where the fan sits. Just making sure everything's nice and clean. These particular boilers, they do have a tiny issue where if the flue installation process, if they raise that flue slightly higher from outside, with many installers they do as default, rainwater can come in. Obviously this doesn't have any protective tray or anything like that, so it drops straight on top of the burner. When it does, there's normally a rubber sleeve on this flame rectification device, and the water gets trapped in there and it corrodes, so that then makes the contact to go bad on these, and it stops rectifying on occasion, or it may just bring about an intermittent fault. So if you get called out to one of these where it's not rectifying properly, or it's got, let's say, ignition problems or something like that, always pay attention to this part. Marks of corrosion that you can see on this one as well. But I've just cleaned this out just to make sure it's going to make good contact when I put it back together. So that's the burner side. If you needed to inspect it further, you can actually undo these 6 screws. In fact 8 screws, so 3 on this side, 3 on that side, and 2 more. When you remove this burner, there's another gasket underneath it, but you can actually remove this part and inspect it and clean it if needed. I'm not doing that today because it looks pretty clear and clean to me, so that's all good. And having a look inside the main heat exchanger, it's not looking too bad. It's just got a bit of, as you can see, something stuck in there, so I'm going to clear that out and just give it a thorough clean and rinse with water, but beside that it's looking good. Is this what you do whilst carrying out a service as well? I'm glad to know your thoughts on it. But when I carry out a strip down service, almost everything needs to come apart. I'm self-employed, bearing in mind I don't have 15-20 services to do every day. I just book in work for myself, so I've got that luxury of time to play about with these, which I'm sure some of you guys unfortunately don't when you have quite a few jobs lined up every single day. But I tend to take my time on these, so yeah, it'll be nice to hear your thoughts as well. Thank you, bye. Okay guys, so those of you who carry out a strip down service on one of these babies, yes, Vokeras, I'm sure you're familiar how bad it is to get these 2 back bolts open and then put them back in. You can only use a certain type of spanner to get in there. Some people use one of these type ring spanners, some use the one with the ratchet at the end on them, because you can't even get this lovely sophisticated tiny baby wearer in there due to the height of it. Can you see? So you can't really put in there, it won't fit due to the way some clever person designed this. Now, I would like you to be very honest with me and tell me if you ever managed to get a ratchet of this nature all the way in there. Can you see? And open it the back. I really want you to be very honest, okay? If you have managed to achieve that using this type of a ratchet, I would like you to tell me. I don't think many of you may have done that, but let's see. So that is a special ratchet, and if you want one of these, just let me know and I'll find the link and send it over to you. I purchased this good 5-6 years ago, and believe it or not, never ever used it. But it's been sat in my van for all these years, and I thought today is the day I would like to put it out and use it. So yes, because it doesn't have kind of the traditional method where the ratchet head goes on top of it and creates it even longer, this one actually the ratchet goes over it, as you can see, and that makes it very stubby. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will wait to hear from you guys. Take care. Bye.